what's up everybody? Welcome to day 3 on the Killer Rats week. I am your host Mood616 and thank you once again for joining me. Yeah, so for day 3, I went with this Killer Rat movie, and it's, in my opinion, is kind of a minor classic film. I know a lot of people have seen this one. Maybe a lot of people haven't seen this one. I'm not too sure. But the film in question here is Of Unknown Origin, starring Peter Weller. And also introducing a very young Shannon Tweed in this film, too. This movie came out in 1983. Makes me feel really old, because I remember watching this one back in the day and just loving it. Haven't seen this one in years. I was very glad to revisit this one. It's, you know, very cool. But getting into the plot of the film, this one, Peter Weller stars as Bart Hughes. He works on Wall Street. You know, he lives in Manhattan, New York. He's married. He lives in a very plush apartment. He's married with a child. And right at the beginning of the film, his wife and his child decide to go visit their grandparents for a couple days. And yeah, because he's got, you know, something, he's working on something big. He gets to work, and of course he gets like kind of like a promotional, you know, his boss comes to him with a big, I guess it's like a promotional piece or whatever you want to do, however you want to call it. He gives him this big account, and he's got like 2 weeks to do it, and basically if he comes through with it, he is like the go-to man, is basically what it is. You know, he's like an up-and-comer. Well, he's like a star on Wall Street, but, you know, this is like his really big chance, so he needs to get this done. And you can tell in the beginning of the film that that Bart is like a very strong person, very witty, you know, very, you know, he's a go-getter and stuff like that with his job, you know. So anyways, he starts working on this project, and he soon realizes that he has a problem in his apartment. All of a sudden, his dishwasher starts flooding all over the place, so he calls in the building maintenance supervisor, or whatever, to come take a look at what happened. And he sooner than later realizes that, you know, what caused the flood was most likely from a rat chewing on some hoses or whatever. So then he suggests to Bart that, you know, maybe get some traps or whatever, you know, try to kill this thing off. So he tries to do that. No love. No love. Does not kill this rat. Then he has a few more run-ins with this rat, and then all of a sudden he becomes super fucking obsessed with this thing. It totally takes him away from work. He finds himself down at the library. He's doing all this research on rats and, like, you know, the origin of them, and which, hence the unknown origin really means that they don't really know where rats come from. This movie has a lot of really interesting facts about rats and stuff that he, you know, discovers. And now it's basically man versus animal, or man versus rat in this film. This rat starts terrorizing the shit out of his house. And of course he gets further and further away from his job. And, you know, yeah, it's him versus the rat. So I'll leave it there. You know, that's basically the plot of the film. My thoughts on it. This is an amazing movie. I think it's really brilliant. I think Peter Weller does a fantastic job. You know, as the character, how it develops so quickly. You know, from like such a headstrong, you know, person on Wall Street to like how he becomes so obsessed with this rat, and he just gets. You can just see him sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into, like, you know, you get right into his psyche and what he's going through, because this thing is fucking terrorizing him, right? And all he wants to do is just get rid of it. At first he's really worried about wrecking the apartment, but after it starts chewing through everything and destroying shit, he doesn't give a fuck. He just goes right for it. There's a really funny scene in this film where he's actually, you know, he's had quite a few run-ins. He's been trying everything to get rid of this fucking rat. And he's sitting on his bed one night, and he's drinking a soda, and he's eating a pickle, and all of a sudden the lights start to flicker, and he just calmly says, "Oh, well, I was waiting for you to do that," you know, chew through the electricals. And then yeah, it just kind of brings you right into the film. It's kind of a comical moment, but the movie's definitely not a comedy at all. But it just really showcases how he's being drained so much, and how you just get really deep into the psyche of his character. And but yeah, you really start to feel for him because he's doing everything he possibly can, and he just cannot kill this rat. Yeah, so basically the whole film is him, trying to kill this fucking rat. It's brilliant. It's shot very well. Peter Weller's performance is just fantastic. Just the way he delivers his lines, and like I said, he goes from up here to down here, basically sinking really low, and you see that with the beard growing, and oh, it's just a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? The director did a really good job. George Cosmatos. Yeah, the guy that directed Tombstone, that's right, Cobra. But yeah, just a fucking brilliant film. I would highly recommend this film. If I had to rate this one, I would probably give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Just for performance alone. And another thing about this movie I really enjoyed, the fact that they didn't stray away from completely not showing the rat. They do show portions of it. It's very close ups. You never actually get to really see how fucking big the rat is, and fully. But they do show bits and pieces of it, which I think is really cool. It's not like you never get to see it and then you get a quick glimpse of it at the end of the film. It's not like that at all. Actually, there's another really funny scene in this film, in a bed too, where he's kind of dozing off, and this was actually a really cool scene. It kind of caught me off guard a little bit. He's just kind of dozing off in bed, and all of a sudden you can see there's this huge lump underneath his white sheets, just kind of crawling towards him. Then he kind of hears it and comes to, and then tries to kill it with a bat, but just kind of adds to the creepiness of it. And then you kind of get the idea of how big this thing, because it literally looks like a small dog underneath the bed, or the bed sheets. So, but yeah, I'll leave it there. I highly recommend this one. If you've never seen this film, if you've seen this film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Peter Weller just brings out the film so much with his performance. It's just so highly recommendable. It's just amazing. But yeah, Of Unknown Origin, highly recommended. Yeah, I will say there's another scene in this movie, so many memorable scenes. I'm just kind of rambling on here, but there's another scene where you really realize when he kind of snaps. He just can't stop thinking about it, and this is a scene where he's at this dinner at this, one of his boss's house, whatever, with all these clients and stuff, and the guy that's running the dinner, he asks him a question, and he just totally doesn't hear him. And then he comes to, and without even answering the guy's question, he just starts talking about rats, and just going into all these, these facts about rats, with, the bubonic plague, how they killed 1 in 3 people in the world, or knocked out 30% of the world's population, and all these crazy facts. And I thought that was so interesting the way they did that, and that's just really when he kind of fully fucking snaps in the film. Very, very cool. Highly recommend this one. Loved it. So yeah, as for day 3, definitely this one has a higher rating, I think, than both the other ones put together. So yeah, day 3. Hope you enjoyed the review. Mood616 signing off. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Leave comments. Peace out, homies.